Update for today, January the 7th. Kind of a weird day today. I'm still down here in Central Oregon, helping out mom and um, visiting with dad as he's still in that assisted living place. And, kind of a weird one in that there were a couple of therapy sessions that dad really wanted me to sit in on and whatnot. And both of those ended up falling right in the middle of the time that I was scheduled to go and pick up lunch for mom and do that. And that kind of warped our entire schedule for today. Um, but we got there and ended up missing lunch and it super hungry by the time that I was finished hanging out with dad. And so then we got some Arby's and by the time all that was done, I ended up kind of crashing and just taking a nap for like an hour and a half, which is one why I have complete ridiculous bedhead, and second, why it's actually 11:51 right now while I'm filming this. Um, so by the time this gets posted, surely it's going to be tomorrow. But this is still January 7th update. All right, so another kind of weird thing that happened today is, well, while I'm with dad, right after one of these other sessions, we're in the kind of like cafeteria of this place where he is, and doing some word find puzzles with dad, and another group is in there, and another one of the residents in this place, and their family is in there, and they're doing, and they're kind of doing a like consultation where they're basically calling the resident of their group's primary care physician. And it's, a couple of family members of the resident and the resident themselves, and they're on the phone and they put it on speaker. One of these things that, just because of the way that these places are set up, that my dad and I end up hearing that, we probably shouldn't, but the way that they're like cleaning dad's room and all these other types of things, it was kind of unavoidable that we ended up hearing this. Anyway, so it's on speaker, and the doctor is basically telling them that, oh, we're just going to wait on whatever it is, and we're just going to wait, and we're just going to see how things progress. And the family member of this patient ends up saying, well, wait a second. This other person said, hey, we're dealing with this kind of brain tumor here, and that's kind of important. There's like a pause, and then they're clearly like tapping on something and looking at something, and the response that you hear is, oh, well, that changes things. Yeah, we're going, and then they immediately schedule her for like an operation, and we heard the entire thing. So they were just going to have her just hang out and not do anything about that until somebody just like pointed right at it, basically what somebody else had said, and now they're going to operate. Is that really how it's supposed to work? I'm no medical professional, but that just seems weird. Is that how things just work in the system? Anyway, last thing before I go. Today again, January the 7th, is actually a day that I spent a long time looking forward to. Uh, for about a year, I've been sitting on a reservation for today being the beginning of my 2026 vacation. And so, yeah, I had airline tickets, and as I have done a lot in the past, it was a cruise. I'm actually going to put up what the itinerary was here in a second. Yeah, so looking at it, right now is while I'd be on that plane going down to South America. I even had the tickets and everything, but again, when mom had her accident in late September, no longer felt comfortable being more than um a few hours drive away from where mom and dad are during this situation. And so kind of knew even then in September that that kind of ends this. So went ahead and canceled this at that point and just kind of cleared out my schedule because 2026 is going to be just a different kind of year. But oh well. when you're doing the right thing, that's kind of what matters. Anyway, with that said, have a great evening or morning or whatever time of day it is now, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.